All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, well, promises and biggest questions facing pretty much anyone who makes videos today: AI editing. The hype is absolutely everywhere. But is it real? Does it actually work? Well, we're going to find out.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's the dream, right? You upload all your raw footage, go to bed, and wake up to a perfectly edited video. It sounds like pure science fiction. It's an amazing pitch, but it also makes you wonder about one very important thing.
Because that's what it all comes down to, isn't it? We've all been there, hyped about some new tech that promises to make life easier, but just ends up being a total headache. So we decided to put these AI tools through a real-world stress test with two very different challenges to see if they're the real deal.
Okay, first up, we're tackling the thing that eats up so much time for creators: short-form content. Finding those perfect little clips. If AI can actually solve the problem of digging through hours of footage for those golden shareable moments, well, that's not just an improvement, that's a game changer. So, here's the setup for our first test. We took one long, 90-minute conversation between two video editors, pretty niche stuff, and we gave the AI a really simple goal. Go find a gem in there and cut it into a viral-style short clip, the kind of thing you'd see on social media, with a great hook that grabs you right away.
So how does it actually work? Honestly, it's kind of crazy how simple it is. You just upload the long video. The AI then churns through the whole transcript, figures out what's being talked about, and then you basically just tell it what you're looking for. The AI does the rest. It's pretty wild.
And this is where it gets really, really impressive. Out of an hour and a half of nerdy editor speak, what does the AI pull out? It zeroes in on the single most interesting story. One of the guys talking about landing a $3,500 gig for just one sound design job. It just knew that this story about money was the most hook-worthy part of the entire conversation.
So, the results, they were just staggering. It generated a perfectly good 40-second clip in 10 seconds. 10. It just needed a tiny 2-minute polish in Premiere Pro. And get this, the final clip actually performed better than 9 of the last 10 clips we had cut by hand. The whole process from upload to export took maybe 5 minutes. Normally, that's a 40-minute job. Let's just put a number on that. That is an 800% time saving. We're not talking about a small little boost in efficiency here. This completely transforms the way you can create short-form content, period.
Okay, so the AI totally crushed the sprint, no question. But what about the marathon? For our next test, we decided to throw it the ultimate curveball: editing an entire full-length, multi-camera podcast.
And the scale of this task is just huge. We're talking 90 minutes of material, 3 different 4K cameras, which added up to over 70 gigabytes of footage. For a human editor, just syncing that all up and getting a basic rough cut is easily a full day of tedious, soul-crushing work.
And here's where it gets really interesting, because it completely redefines what work even means. An editor's time is active. You are glued to your chair, staring at a timeline, making cuts. With the AI, the hardest part is a 40-minute upload. That's passive time. The real work is happening on a server somewhere while you're off scripting your next video or, grabbing lunch. And the final cut? How did it do? Honestly, it was a solid 8 out of 10. The AI figured out who was talking and switched to the right camera pretty much every single time. Now, was it an artistic masterpiece? No. But was it a totally publishable first draft? Absolutely. Which, for this level of complexity, is just incredible.
So, after putting it through both of these tests, what's the real verdict here? Is AI the magic button that solves all our video editing problems? Well, as you can probably guess, the answer is a little more interesting than just a simple yes or no. If we break it down, you can see where AI is an absolute winner. For short-form stuff, the time savings are direct, they're massive, it's a no-brainer. For long-form, the win is a bit different. It's about turning all those hours of active, focused work into passive processing time, which just fundamentally changes how much content you can even make. But we do have to be realistic about where it's at right now. The AI isn't an artist. If you want a really creative, stylized edit, a fast-paced montage cut perfectly to a music beat to create a certain feeling, it's not going to do that. It knows what to do, like cut to the person who's talking, but it doesn't understand the why behind a unique creative choice. Not yet, anyway. And I think this is the point a lot of people miss.
The real power here isn't just making one video a little faster. It's about changing your entire capacity to create. By taking all the technical grunt work off your plate, a single person or a small team could literally triple their output without burning out. That is a huge deal.
So what all this really points to is a whole new way of thinking about the creative process. This is not about an AI replacing an editor. It's about giving that editor a major upgrade to their toolkit. We are officially entering the era of AI-assisted editing. Just think of it like a partnership. The AI is the world's best assistant. It does all the boring, repetitive stuff, and that frees you up, the human, to focus on the stuff that actually matters. The story, the creativity, the unique vision that makes your work special. And maybe the best part of all of this? You might think it sounds complicated, but the barrier to entry is ridiculously low. Seriously. If you know how to use something like ChatGPT, you already know how to use these tools. You can literally just type, "Find the most exciting part of this video," and turn it into a clip, and it works. It's that easy. So here's the bottom line. This tech isn't some threat to creativity. It's an amplifier for it. The future isn't going to be humans fighting against AI. It's going to be humans working with AI, creating things that neither one could make on their own. And from everything we've seen, that future is basically already here.